You're a good cat, Pox. You're a wicked fella.
Yeah,
And
well.
that's right, and you've got the mange. Mwah!
Yeah.
You've got a bit of the old mange.
Rudge. Have you got enough of them scabs for a good stock yet?
I have. Hang on.
You know what Granny's like? She just have a good thick gravy with her meat.
Yeah, I think there's enough there now.
Good.
Go on.
Go on, mate. That'll do. Go on. That'll do.
Oh, by the way,
What?
did I tell you I gave a hooligan's daughter a ride this afternoon?
You what?
I gave her a ride home.
That's what I thought you said. What have I told you about hitchhikers?
Not to give them a lift,
Why?
because he might be the queer fella in disguise.
That's right. The queer fella. You'll end up like our cousin, Fintan O'Leprosy.
Who? I never heard of him.
Oh, there's a reason for that. You see, he just bought a car up in the big smoke.
Mullingar.
Yeah, and he was driving home with a "I've got a new car" sort of head on him. He was doing about 110 on the M6, somewhere between Enfield and Kinnegad, with his radio full blast, listening to Bat Out of Hell.
Oh, that's a great number. By Meatloaf. I've got that tape.
Oh, shut up. Look, anyway, right? It was hitting twilight when in front of him he saw this blonde young one throwing a lift.
I bet he stopped.
Well, of course he did. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, that was the last mistake Fintan O'Leprosy ever made. He thought he'd impress her with his flash new interior and leather upholstery. She got in full of smiles, and he was delighted he'd picked her up, as she was great company for the long stretch of road. This new car of mine's a babe magnet, he thought to himself, as she leaned over to kiss him right on the mouth. At the very moment their lips met, there was an almighty bump.
They must have hit something.
That's what he thought. Normally he wouldn't give a bog if he'd hit something on the road, but the girl seemed very distressed and asked him to check.
Girdles are like that.
He turned the engine off and walked round to the back of the car, but he could see nothing, and the ground was clear behind him. Suddenly, he heard a piercing laugh that pained his ears and shook his soul. And at that very moment, the engine started up, and the car shot away. But the strangest thing of all was in the last glimmer of twilight, he could see himself driving away, with no sign of the girl in the passenger seat. "My lovely car!" shouted Fintan, as he fell to his knees, only then noticing his feminine hands and nylon stockings.
Oh, jeez.
She had not only stolen his car, but stolen his body. Body transferal! That's right! You see, a young girl was hitchhiking on that stretch of road in 1982 when some flash young bucko ran her over and left her dying on the roadside. Her ghost swore to wreak revenge, and any time someone gives her a lift, she tricks them and steals their mortal form. And their soul is left to wander the lonely road as the ghostly hiker, until they too can hitch a ride out of hell.
Well, that's it. A hooligan's daughter can walk the 15 miles from the abattoir from now on.
No, you're
She's
right.
not getting
Never.
my soul. No.
Hey, Roger, look!
Would you look? Would you look? Pox is licking his arse again.
Oh, pets do the cutest
pets do
things.
the cutest
They
things.
do.